Sounded good, man. Terrance Bryant here, winner of 2016 Southside Idol. Congratulations again. So how you feeling? Is the excitement worn off yet?
Uh, yeah, I'm just I'm still, getting some feedback and it's much appreciated, but I'm just kind of glad it's over.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a stressful few months there. I mean, I didn't really get to hang out much with the girls. Like they kind of did their own thing with, me being the only boy in the competition. But I did a lot of, aside from my own work and school, things like that, working, preparing for this, making sure I was ready.
So the prize money, besides the 50% that you're going to give to me, what are you going to do with the rest of it?
College tuition, textbooks. I mean, I could probably get two or three out of it. So I'm gonna put it to good use for the school.
Education, not a bad thing to spend your money on.
No, can't argue with that for sure.
So where were you born?
I'm actually from Fort Lauderdale. I was born in Fort Lauderdale in 1994. I'm a youngin.
Grow up there.
I was there for about 4 years, and my parents decided they just didn't really want to raise their children in a that kind of city environment. So we moved up to the country.
Yeah, where was that?
I moved to Fort White, Florida. One stop left.
Where is Fort White, Florida?
Fort White, Florida is in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of like west of Gainesville and west of Jacksonville, but like southeast of Lake City. It's just kind of slap in the middle there.
So it's not very far from Lake City, which was convenient for you.
About 30-minute drive, yeah.
How long have you been singing?
Honestly, aside from the shower singing since I was little, probably since about seventh grade. That's when I first really got my full experience in front of an audience.
So if you had to emulate, if you had to express who you sound like the most, or who has been your inspiration, or who you emulate the most, who do you think it would be?
Well, it's hard for me to just kind of pick one.
It is a little. You are unique, that's for sure. You have your own style, which is very good. That is a good trait to have.
If I had to pick somebody who inspired me, I'd say Brian McKnight for sure. His song "Back at One," the first time I ever heard that, that's literally what got me singing. So I would love to say that Brian McKnight, sometimes Teddy Pendergrass, Music Soul Child, which not too many people know of, would be my most prized um, artist in the R&B soul type field.
So what's on your iPhone? Come on, man. What you got in there? What you plug into your ears?
I listen to anything really. I have a different mood for all different types of music. One day I'll be listening to rock, country, soul, opera, even. It just depends on what I'm feeling that day, honestly.
And growing up, so Brian McKnight was your inspiration.
Brian McKnight for sure.
So in terms of his style and the way he sings, you think that that's somewhere where you would want to go, and as you mature and get older and become probably more professional.
I would love to. The way, not even just vocally, but his performance on stage, down to the piano, and just the way he can just really give himself to the audience and make them feel his words is incredible, and I've always been a fan of that.
So we're digging into your past. We're talking about you growing up and what it was like growing up. Tell me about your parents.
My parents, they met, when they were little. They've been pretty much together ever since. They're still together now. I think they're going on 27 years. January 28th is actually their anniversary next week.
So as you was performing and after every performance, the judges had to give their opinion of your performance. What did you think of some of their comments?
Well, they were very focused. They were, the guy that mentioned my smile, I forget his name exactly, but that's always been something that, I kind of just felt wasn't necessary, but everybody says my smile is so marketable, so I just figured why not.
Yeah, I kind of thought that comment when he said, I want to see you smile more or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, okay. I mean, you had people on the floor. What would that mean?
Right, I'm here to sing.
Yeah.
Again, like connecting with the audience. That's a big part of it. And most of the songs that I'm singing were mainly toward the female audience. So really drawing them in. That I felt that was really important. But he gave a lot of good, constructive criticism, more compliments. I probably would have liked more, stern, what can I do to get better? Because I feel like there's always room for improvement for sure.
Did you talk to any of them after the show?
Actually, pretty much all of them approached me after the show and just congratulated me and asked me what's next. And I mean, it was hard for me to say, but I just kind of took it all in. It was hard to take it all at once.
Yeah, you were. I watched you guys up there on stage, and I always love that part where they're getting down to the last five and the last three and the last two. There was a bit of a Steve Harvey moment at the end. Tell me what you were feeling. I mean, you
Well,
had to be going crazy.
I was because I felt like it was almost planned. Honestly, I'm like they're doing this on purpose. They know
I
what's
was thinking, there's no way.
right. I was shocked about the placement that was mentioned the first time because I really felt the people that pretty much the people that came to the top five I had predetermined in my head were going to be the ones that did give me the most competition. And once they started rounding them up, and I'm like, okay, these two are going to be mentioned next. And I just once one name was mentioned, I was relieved and I could breathe a little bit better. The next name, it was but once they kept saying the second and third and hadn't mentioned my name yet, I just kind of unbuttoned my jacket and I just realized it was over.
So we're talking about what you guys were doing and how you were feeling up there. So you feel like the judges picked the appropriate. You agree with their choices pretty much, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. As far as the placement, there was one I kind of felt was a little like maybe she should have, but there's everybody has their own opinion, and there's a lot of different things that people base their judgments on, whether it's vocal or performance, and everybody connects in a different way. So I do believe that they did very well on their part.
I thought everybody, every one of you guys, every contestant did a fabulous job.
I was
I'm serious. I think every one of you, any one of them could have won. Any one of you could have won that contest or could have been second.
mhm.
I think you pretty much knocked it out of the park. I mean, seriously. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
did a really good job, and you guys worked hard. What do you think of the process? Do you think there should be any changes in the process as the way Southside Idol operates, or are you pretty comfortable with how they're doing it?
Well, I feel that Wayne Jernigan's got a really good setup there. So far,
I
everything's
agree.
been, for my first year, of course. I think it was a pretty smooth transition. Everything was decent, everything was in order. Um, of course, me being kind of an impatient person, I was kind of ready to sing that one song and have it the show that day and just be done. But it's all a part of it. There's a build up and there's a glow and then there's the dim. So I think it's a great setup or a great show that he's doing for the community.
Um, I got a feeling there were a lot of people involved in this show. There was the band, and let's get to the band. Matt Johns is awesome.
He is.
Tell me about the process there with you working with him and their band and those guys.
Honestly, with my work schedule, I had two times to perform and only one time for each song. I literally found the instrumental to the songs I was singing and I said, I need this probably like two pitches lower. Just give it to me in this key. And I showed up at one rehearsal and he wrote the whole song himself in that key. Is incredible. If I needed any adjustments, he knew exactly, what I needed, where I needed it, and how I needed it. I just love, really collaborating with musically inclined people as he, and he's amazing. He can play anything. He can sing anything.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. That's for sure. Tell me about the songs that you picked. You're starting with your first one.
My first one was "Change Is Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke. I always, whenever I'm singing, I want to sing something that has a moment. So whenever, even if it's church, in the shower, no matter where it is, I have to sing a song that has a moment, just so I'm constantly testing my range and what I'm capable of vocally. And change is gonna come. It's every song I sing has a story. And I felt that with a lot of stuff going on, election times, crazy things going on in the world, it's something that I could just comfort, the people who heard it. I felt that that was just something that they needed in a sense.
What about your second?
Second one was Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. My mom kind of coached me into that one, and the first one actually. It was, more modern. I'm used to singing these older songs like Teddy Pendergrass, Brian McKnight, Boys to Men. I figured I want to get something that people are hearing now, on the radio, and something that I could put my own spin on, my own little taste, but um, be also pleasing at the same time. So Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, I felt that I could really own that one.
And that third wonderful song.
Lay Me Down by Sam Smith. Probably one of actually my favorite song that's out right now. His vocal capabilities are far beyond what a lot of people are in this industry capable of, and I'm just astounded by what he's doing with his work. It's awesome. Lay Me Down is a really emotional song. Just kind of just wanting that person there, even if they're feeling rejected by them, no matter what ill emotion that person has towards them, just wanting them no matter what. There's such an intense passion, and I felt that singing that song, whether I'm making somebody in the audience smile, cry,
I
think
think you
about,
I think you reached out and touched people with
yeah,
that song, specifically the judges, particularly the
mm-hmm,
the judges. When I was camera one right there,
mm-hmm,
watching you and watching your eyes, and you were looking at the judges purposely. That was powerful to me. That was powerful. And then once you were done with the song and you got
mm-hmm,
the standing ovation, that pretty much sealed it. I honestly do think that was
yeah.
it. I know last year they did a victory song. I noticed that was a change this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were telling me about how usually the winner sings another song, and they kind of briefed me like right before I finished. Or I'm like, hold on, y'all didn't tell me about this. I'm not prepared for this. That's three big songs. I don't know if I can pull another one out, but I went ahead and picked the first one. I felt that that was one that was a good beginner and a good finisher as well. So I was ready, but they they were okay with it. I guess they didn't
Oh yeah,
do it this
man,
time.
I would say so. Do you have any siblings? Any brothers, sisters?
I have one sibling. My brother is Wayne. He's 23 years old. He married a year now. He lives there in Lake City with his wife there.
Awesome. So, any plans to go on or try out for any national television shows like The Voice or
Well,
America's Got Talent?
I was wanting to try out for The Voice next week. Actually, it's going to be the closest audition is in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm on vacation this week. I'm supposed to be on there next week, but anyway, um, depending on the weather conditions, I do plan to go audition for The Voice. Hopefully, I think auditioning with Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran is a way that I could, something new, something fresh, something that they're gonna know right off, and see that also acknowledge that I'm gonna be putting my own spin on it as well, and that I have, something that could use some coaching, but also that I know what I'm doing as well.
Well, we will take the video of you in the show, and you can take it and you could use it for auditions. I mean, that last song, that would have been a great one, in my opinion, to use as an audition tool.
All right, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
it was a good one. All right. First off, I want to start off by saying thank you to all the girls who broke my heart over the past 21 years because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to put all the passion and intensity into those songs that I sang. So they've got to get their piece. I want to apologize to all the girls that were in the competition. I'm kind of an introvert. I'm kind of shy. So being that I was the only guy in the competition, it was a little nerve wracking for me. Most people think, oh, you've got you sing, you're on stage all the time, you're always gonna be around people. True, but I kind of was just staying off to my own, and it's just my personality. I sometimes I'm really loud and boisterous, sometimes I'm quiet and humble. So I just want to say that there was just no hard feelings for that. You guys are great. I love hearing every single one of you guys' voices. There's a few that I would love to duet with, and you can find me on Facebook, whatever. I'll probably get in touch with you soon if you hear from me. I would love to collaborate. There's some great talent in this area, and I really want to thank the people that made it or that took the time to audition. I know that there's a lot of people with talent out there that are just letting it sit there. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys for, helping me. You encouraged me. You were an encouragement to me with this whole process. I also want to say thank you to Wayne Jernigan for, I mean, he's the source of all this. Great job with the way it's set up. I love the way it's a smooth transition. Did a great job with this whole show. For all the people involved, Anthony, probably voice coach and kind of keeping us straight throughout the whole process. Um, Everybody took, contributed in a way, and it's just made it an amazing process for me. I really appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you.